Hi, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Just My Opinion podcast. On the Just My Opinion podcast, we talk about everything entertainment and lots more. So, if you're interested in conversations like that, feel free to subscribe and hit the notification button. Of course, the title of our podcast, Just My Opinion, means it's just my opinion, just the ambassador's opinion. So, feel free to share your opinion in the comment section below. So, let's get to it. Hi, Ambassador.
Hello, people. It's your boy Ambassador again doing his thing.
Okay, so today we are going to be reading this article from Napstar TV. So it goes on to say, Burna Boy, despite earning over $300 million in royalties from his music, shows, and other activities in 2022 and 2023 so far, still maintains a net worth of less than $15 million. He is working money for American record labels. Heartbreak. According to reliable sources, Burna Boy signed to American record label Atlantic Records, and Warner Music Group chose to align with this label not solely for the purpose of maximizing potential earnings, but primarily to establish himself as a prominent African artist. Burna Boy basically just wanted to make a name for himself and didn't really care about how much he will be making from his music in the long run. In the company of renowned artists like NBA Youngboy and Jack Harlow, Burna Boy is part of one of the most potent record labels. These record labels are so powerful that even the algorithm works for them. They own shares with the majority of the streaming platforms, which is why you will see Burna Boy songs running as ads everywhere on YouTube and Spotify. The record companies claim the lion's share of the royalties generated from his music and performances. This was evident in his song Last Last, where Burna Boy ultimately received only 10%. Burna Boy has generated more than $6 million for shows and tours in 2023, but his net worth has reportedly not increased by up to 1 million. Why so? Okay. I mean, reading this article, and I feel like the heartbreak sign was appropriate, but I'm not surprised because I've always seen Burna Boy as somebody who is very passionate about the art and passionate about making a name for himself. I don't want to say I don't see him as someone who doesn't care about money, but I feel like he definitely prioritizes that art and the name being well known. So, not very surprising. What do you think, Ambassador?
No, so I think like that just goes to corroborate what there was this recent uproar. I think people are still talking about it. Where he went on an interview and said Afrobeat has lost substance. So I think, yeah, as you said, he's one of those guys who is like trying to follow Fela's footsteps. He tries to. It's true, the whole Afro thing now is more of the beat and not so much of the lyrics. But he tries to put some engaged lyrics out there from time to time. Yes, I can see why he will not prioritize the money. Although I think, okay, looking at the way his career has grown, I cannot say he's not prioritizing money because to fund some of those things, it definitely takes money. So his maths is mathsing behind the scene. So yeah, I mean, we might just have picked up a couple of things to say, okay, the business might not be looking good. But at times you have guys like Kanye West where this year he says he's bankrupt, next year he's a billionaire. So as long as I see moves that look like they are making sense, I see him making some right moves, I'm not worried. I just feel like okay, maybe he's investing heavy. There is a bigger plan which we cannot see. That's why it's not adding up to us. But yeah, I still believe like Burna Boy is on the right track, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, do you think he would have made the amount of money? Because, like the Napster article goes on to say, he made $300 million this year. That's the amount he generated for the record labels, but his network was still at a 15 million. So, do you think if he was signed to an African record label, do you think he still would have generated this amount of money?
So as usual, most of these numbers and facts are always mentioned to the point in the comment section. We're giving our opinion based on what we have seen. People should not come to us here and be saying, get your facts right, get your facts right. Facts are always coming from someone. If you question the source of that fact, then the fact is no longer a fact. So if we say this is where we're getting our fact from, if that fact is not fact enough for you, go and bring your own fact that is better on. But we are just commenting on what we are seeing. So based on that, I mean, assuming that has made that number, but I can see why you get so bigger labels have more people to pay. They have the American branch, European branch, African branch, which they're helping to push your work. They have more bills to pay. They invest a lot more. But when it's all said and done, I just say, okay, they'll push your brand to go further into places. It becomes a household name, maybe even in America, where just by your own African strength, you might not have been able to make it. Might I use the word that might. Secondly, they have best practices which you could get to learn. And if you go with your African team and you guys integrate yourself with them, after maybe 6 years, now you have built the networks which they have. You have learned their best practices. Your brand has gone as far as they have pushed it. Then you can now capitalize on it and then start making the money where you are having now 80% of the shares coming to you. But in the meantime, that's why I feel like it's an investment. One, even if you make that money, and that's how much he's now valued at, which is not a significant percentage compared to how much you said he has made. But given that, okay, I don't think Burna Boy has been running steady up to even 10 years. I mean, like 5 years, even at that level, he has not been going steady. So he has a long time to go to build his networks, learn his team from Africa. I'm happy, like, I know his sisters are very involved in his work. His mother is very involved in his work. So those are people who, it's a lifetime commitment, family. So even when all of this is done, there'll be lots of things which they can learn and then take this practice and come and build something big in Africa, which will match the level of those global houses. So for me, I'm not worried about it. My problem is when African artists sign and then now we start seeing the Dibanj kind of syndrome where you're not releasing songs, the songs you put out are not hits, the promo for those songs are not as hard as when you were even with the African level. That's when I have a problem. As long as you are putting out hits consistency, you are doing bigger things, going out there, bigger collabos, I'm good. Because at the end of the day, for me, it's more of like you're just investing now in your career. There will come a time when you cash out.
Yeah, you know, initially when I read the article, my initial reaction was, "What? He made $300 million for the record label, but then he's only worth $15 million." That was my initial reaction. I felt like there's some not fair in it. But then I'm thinking about it again after listening to what you're saying. Like what came to my mind was I remember when it went viral that Rihanna wasn't like a majority shareholder of Fenty Beauty, and a lot of people were like,
Yeah.
"What? Rihanna doesn't own majority of Fenty Beauty?" And then Charlamagne the God reacted on it on the Breakfast Club and was like, "A lot of people want to be owning 100% of a business that makes zero profit." That
Zero.
it's better to own 1% of a business that makes a lot of profit than own 100% of a business that makes no profit. So like
Yeah.
that's how I'm looking at it now. Like if he stayed back in Africa, he probably would not even have gotten to that 15 million because he would have
Not
been
close.
owning.
Maybe not even the total which he has now in his account.
Exactly, yeah. So I thinking about it now, I'm like, you know what, I feel it's still a good business.
And as usual, on just my opinion, I feel like I don't think Charlemagne and the others are watching us. But I think for Cameroonian artists or African artists, that's a lesson to take home there is don't all of them want to be CEOs. So you hear I'm an artist, entrepreneur, CEO, owner of my label. But you're the only one wearing that t-shirt, you're the only artist signed under your label, you're the PR and the marketing and everything of that label. That label does not generate any money. You surely go and do a 9 to 5 job or you have a farm where you are making money from to come and invest in that label. It does not make sense to want to be all of that. Break it down, get to learn, partner with business minds, grow your line, grow your brand, and then later on, take your time to learn. I always tell people like it's insanity to think that people have gone to school for maybe 6 years and have been working for 10 years, and you did not even go to school for up to 5 years. You have not been on the field for up to 2 years. You all of a sudden just know all of what they know. It does not work like that. It's time, it's process, it's patience, it's focus.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Let's proceed to talk about our sponsors, Echo.online.
Yep, as usual, I'm here to talk about the money. Echo Online puts money in the African artist pocket. So, as usual, I tell you, it's here to democratize the playing field that every African artist who's an independent artist could move like he's signed on a level because most of the services which a level provide for you, Echo Online provides for you. By this, I mean like some of the sales, tickets, merchandise, all of these things that bring revenue to your pocket. Echo does that for you. How do you go about it? Create a profile, take the link to your profile, share it on your social media handles, get your fans to follow you on Echo.online. The difference is Echo.online is adapted to payment methods in Africa. That's mobile money and other local payment methods. Unlike Facebook and other social media sites where they could just comment, like, follow, but it does not bring money to your pocket. But Echo Online is built particularly for that purpose, bringing money to your pocket. So as soon as you have a significant follow, you could start selling your music, streaming your music, selling merchandise, selling tickets. That's money coming directly to your pocket by your core fan base in Africa. And also you could easily pull out that money and reinvest in your career and hence grow your career organically. So I think Echo.online is perfectly adapted to the needs of the African artists. So put yourself on Echo.online, share with Chakara TV, and we'll push as hard as we can, and also share your success story with other artists.
Thanks, guys, for tuning into this episode of the Just My Opinion podcast. Feel free to let us know what you think in the comments below. Subscribe, hit the notification button, and see you guys next time. Bye.